What's going on, YouTube family? It's Troy with Blackheart Tactical here. I want to drop a little bit of a serious video. I'm going to try to stay off of a rant. I'm going to try to stay off of my soapbox, but I do want to, hit on this serious topic. As a legally armed, legally concealed carrying citizen, it is important that you have what is considered a battle plan. Because I will tell you, if you don't already know, between my military and law enforcement background, I have roughly 15 years of experience in defensive shooting, defensive carrying, force on force, lethal force experience. So I will say that I've been in situations where, had it not been for a warrior mindset or having a battle plan, I may not have made it home. Now, what having a warrior mindset means is not don't take the words literally. I'm not saying you have to be a warrior. What I'm saying is that if the time ever comes where you have to exercise your right to engage a hostile person with lethal force, you have to have a battle plan or a warrior mindset to come out of that and live to see another day. The body and the mind are synced pretty well, but when you throw stress in on top of everything, that mind body synchronization gets kind of thrown out of whack. It's called an OODA loop. And if you aren't prepared for it mentally, if you haven't Doctor Stranged it and looked into the future at possible outcomes, and your mind isn't prepared for it, you're going to be disadvantaged. And I will tell you that if you look at the studies of lethal force encounters, now this is not law enforcement lethal force encounters, military lethal, this is citizen on citizen lethal force encounters in the United States, roughly 70% or more are under 21 feet. So within 21 feet between you and the suspect, you and the assailant, you and the assaulter, that is the distance in which that person decides, I'm going to cause this person harm. They then engage in that hostile act. You, as the potential victim, have to recognize the threat, process it as a threat. Then you have to formulate a plan of, what am I going to do? Once you formulate that plan of what I'm going to do, then your mind has to put the body into motion. So if you haven't played that scenario out ever, you're just like, I'm going to go through this concealed carry class because my husband wants me to, or I'm going to go through this because it's my right. Great. I applaud you for exercising your right. But you're doing a disservice to yourself and disservice to whoever you're protecting by not having that plan in your head. Secretary of Defense Mattis kind of got infamous on the internet, a little while ago, a year or so ago, because he kind of brought back to the forefront an old saying that I'll and I'm paraphrasing, but I'll treat everybody with respect, but at the same time have a plan to kill everybody in the room. That's not saying he's a psychopathic killer and wants to destroy everybody's soul. What that's saying is I'm going to be cordial to everybody and treat everybody as a friend until that person shows me that they're a threat. But I'm not going to be caught off guard. I'm going to have a plan for how I'm going to react to that. That's a warrior mindset. Every time I go out into public, I'm armed. Every time we go into a public place, my wife knows that if I give her our code word, that means her and our children leave and they go to our car because something is going down. She automatically knows to get our children to the car and to safety, and then to call the police and say, I'm at this location, something is wrong. My husband is inside. He is wearing blah 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 blah. He is, licensed concealed carry instructor. That way, when first responders get there, they know they've already got the information that something's wrong. Don't exactly know what just yet, but something's wrong. We need to get there. When we get there, this guy wearing this outfit is being a concerned citizen trying to stop this threat. That's all a part of our battle plan, all a part of our warrior mindset. It's very important. I cannot stress to you the importance of once you, whether you live in a state that has constitutional carry and you don't require a license to carry, or whether you live in a state that does require you to have a license to carry, if you are carrying a firearm, I can't stress the importance of having a battle plan, having that warrior mindset. Because if you're not prepared for it, the first act of violence that happens to you, it's going to throw your OODA loop out of sync, and you're not going to be able to react, and you're going to become a liability. You never want to be a liability. You always want to be an asset. While I'm on that topic, not only have you become a liability, but you brought a firearm into a situation that potentially couldn't have had, it may not have had a firearm in it. It could have been a knife attack. It could have been a baseball bat attack. It could have been, a spatula attack. And now, because you weren't prepared, you have introduced a firearm into a situation that you no longer can control or can react to. So it's vastly important that you maintain a warrior mindset. Really, really, really can't stress that enough. Three hugely important topics. I'm sorry about this light in the background. You just have to deal with it. I'm sorry. First and foremost, training. Get training. If you can't afford a firearms instructor, at least go to a range. Go to a range and use your firearm. Practice with it. If you don't know how to function that firearm, it's useless. Useless. If you have the availability to to pick the brain of a friend that has firearms experience, do that. If you have the availability to go to a range that has on-duty range instructors, do that. If you want to, the NRA has a class called NRA Basics of Pistol Shooting. Find an NRA Basics of Pistol Shooting class near you and go through it. It is extremely, extremely valuable to have even that basic information, especially if you are a beginner at this and you really you're looking to close that learning gap. If you're not comfortable in a group setting, find a firearms instructor. And most of us firearms instructors will do one-on-one training. All you have to do is ask. As a firearms instructor, we would rather go out knowing that citizens in our area are carrying and they're doing so knowledgeably than carrying just because they can. The second thing in this is confidence. You have to have confidence in your equipment and confidence in your abilities. This all goes back to training. How can you be confident in your abilities if you haven't trained? Now, confidence in your equipment. That means don't buy the cheapest firearm that you can. There are tons of firearms out there that are bottom dollar. And I'm not trying to throw shade or be a jerk, but High Point, Charter Arms, Jimenez Arms, you can buy one of their guns brand new for $125, $150. But when they fail, you're going to be using it as a brick. Save up a little bit more. A brand new shield, $440, something like that. A brand new Glock, $450. You know, and that's brand new from the factory. You can go to a firearms store or a pawn shop or a gun show, and you can find really, really affordable firearms there, quality firearms. Stick with big names: Glock, Smith and Wesson, Springfield Armory, CZ, Sig Sauer. Stick with brands that have built a track record of reliability, a track record of quality. Because if your life depends on it, I hope you don't trust a $125 firearm. The third thing is the warrior mindset. If you don't have the training and you don't have the brand confidence, or not brand confidence, but you don't have the confidence in your equipment, how can you effectively have a good battle plan or a good warrior mindset? You've already handicapped yourself by being a defensive carrier. You're further handicapping yourself by not having training or confidence in your equipment. If you take anything away from this video, take away the fact that I applaud you for exercising your legal rights as an American citizen to carry a concealed firearm. That is the first step in becoming an answer to violence instead of a victim of violence. The second thing is make sure that you know how to function, shoot, and maintain your firearm training. And please don't go out anywhere without a plan. Planning is probably the most important step in all of this. Because if you don't know how you're going to react to a situation, you're not going to be able to react to a situation. I'm going to get off my soapbox now. I promised I would try to keep it not so ranty and not so soapboxy. I think I failed in that aspect, but this is a serious topic. If you guys want to check out those stats I mentioned, the FBI has those defensive lethal encounter stats. I know my percentage was wrong, but it's something ridiculous, like 70% or more. If you guys are on the fence as to what kind of firearm you want to carry, go to a gun store, hold it, talk to a firearms instructor. Pick somebody's brain that you know loves guns. Talk to a family member that has a couple of firearms. Ask their opinion. Anybody who truly cares about what they do as a professional firearms instructor, anybody who cares about you as a friend or a family member, they're not going to tell you to buy, a piece of junk. They're going to give you their honest opinion and tell you what they feel is a quality piece of equipment. Guys, firearms are a tool. Tool is only as good as the person using the tool. When I do a firearms class, I tell my students that the gun is not the weapon. The gun is the tool. You are the weapon. And the way you could be the most effective weapon is to know how it works, know how you're going to implement it, and do so when you have to. I'm going to cut this video out now. You guys stay safe, stay vigilant. Blackheart out.